Hello, welcome to PAX. I'm your host Paul James, and today I'm joined by Matto Phillips. And today we are talking about PAX Australia, which, I mean, Matto's wearing all his stuff from it anyway. He's got his PAX shirt, he's got his free Audio Technica hat.
I forgot to bring my inflatable hammers.
What?
They also put it in with the microphone. I think it was PC PowerCore or whatever, who were...
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Just giving away freebies.
Just giving away everything.
Sweet. We're talking about PAX AUS because we went there, we played a bunch of games, and we're going to talk about those. You would have seen last week's episode where we had a few guests and they spoke about what they've been playing, and I said, I'll be pretty quiet because we're going to do a series of these.
Yeah, no.
This is the rest of that series.
This is two-parter.
So that went real well. But, Matto, we'll start with you.
Yes.
What were some of the things that you played that really took your fancy from PAX Australia 2018?
Darksiders 3.
Oh, you went and played it?
Yeah, I did find it, the one
that
we were talking
one
about.
laptop.
They were actually, on Saturday, they had two laptops going.
Really?
I think someone got word around.
They got some of that PR money come in, and they're like, all right, let's set up another Lenovo.
It's funny. It was good. I liked the gameplay, the style of it was good. I played it for about 5 or 10 minutes or so just to get a feel of it, and it feels good. I'm really excited for it. I completely forgot about Darksiders because the whole, THQ closure. Then didn't know what was going to happen with it. Will there be a Darksiders 3? Will there not be? There is.
And it's back. It's coming. And there's a few people from the team not there anymore. Like, it's a new team, but
still the same style.
But 60% of people came across. But Joey Matt, who's the main art guy and probably the main director, he left, started up his own studio, and you can tell. I don't know, the art's not quite the same.
But the feel
still looks good.
The feel of it, of a Darksiders game, is still there.
That's still there. It felt good to play.
Yes. And I was so excited about it because I was a bit and ah about it because of the whole new studio, as you do with games like that. But I'm excited. It's coming out, December?
No, we're November now, so it's this month. It's like the 27th of this month, the end of the month.
I better get on it then.
Better get that before Smash comes out and all.
I don't have a Wii Switch. Don't have a Switch, so Smash Brothers is not going to bother me. And I didn't play it either because the line was too long.
It was ridiculous.
It was ridiculous how long.
Only beaten maybe by the Kingdom Hearts queue.
Or Days Gone, as you would know. You would know for your 2-hour wait.
We'll get back to that one shortly. But yeah, it was a 2-hour wait. What else did you kind of play that you really enjoyed?
Let's see.
Or that you didn't even enjoy, by the way. You've got a little stack of business cards.
Business cards. They're all the indie games. Let's go through the so-called, AAA games. Don't play. I can't AAA. What else did I play?
Don't worry, Microsoft's working on a quadruple A game apparently.
Oh, give me a break.
They called it that themselves.
Oh, Sony.
No, Xbox.
Oh, come on,
with their new studio called The Initiative, and we may know more about this by the time you're viewing it. The Xbox X018 is only a few days away, but a quadruple A game.
Quadruple A game. What was the other one? Which I think was it Starlink? No, Starlink. Is it Starlink?
Starlink, the Toys to Life one. That's kind
of the Happy Meal type toys that I would call it. It's the game I like because it's nice to see a game like Star Fox 64 or Star Fox 64 Lolo was both the same game. What was the Super Nintendo one? Was it Star Fox?
Yeah, it was just Star Fox. And then there was Star Fox 2, and then Light Wars came in 64.
Yeah, it was good to see that a first level I saw wasn't the same layout as all those games. It was actually nice to see something different for once. And the character's good, just not the biggest fan on the whole Switch, the whole toy thing.
Well, you don't have to do that though.
Really?
No. So like, if you buy it on any of those platforms, you don't have to. You can get them all, like, it's all digital. You can do it all digitally.
Oh.
So you don't have to have the figures.
Oh, good.
So it works both ways.
So I'll buy it then. I'm sold.
And from what I've heard, and I only heard American prices, so I don't want to try and convert it for us, but you save a significant amount if you go all digital. Like, if you got into the game and you wanted to buy all the bits and pieces that come with it, it's
that's all right then.
Way cheaper that way.
I can deal with that. That's fine.
And then if you play the Switch version, if you get the Switch version, you're basically playing a new Star Fox game. And unlike Star Fox Zero from the other year, actually a good one.
Yes.
So,
I was trying to think, what the hell I can't remember what I played on Friday. Was it a PlayStation game or was it an Xbox game? Ori.
Game of the show. In my mind.
I didn't even know I didn't know this was the second one of.
So you didn't know about it?
I didn't know about it until you told me. It's a sequel to the other. Like, what? There's a first one?
It's incredible.
Yeah, I was impressed. Yeah, it was very good. It was very enjoyable. Very sort of, yeah.
It's still weirdly
it's
peaceful.
weird.
I think it's the art style and stuff,
Yeah.
but like it's just super calm, even when you're kind of
And
fighting.
then all these worms and stuff start attacking you. It's just, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, you just fly up in
Just
the air, you
fly
make
up.
it all look real graceful, and then you come rocketing back through the sand again, and you take them out. It all looks awesome.
Yeah, and it looks nice too. It looks fantastic. What other games have I played?
It's one of the better Metroidvanias of the last few years, but yeah, for me, the best game that was there at PAX. And there was plenty of really good games, but the best game at
Yeah,
PAX.
there were a lot of games there. And one more. Trials.
Trials. Oh, Trials Fusion?
I don't know what it's
The
called.
new
I
one,
didn't-
Fusion?
'cause
The
everyone-
one, the one on the bike.
Yeah, the one on the
Yeah.
bike. Sort of like, I don't know if there's another one that's similar to it. There was another bike game. Like
There was
early
there was
days.
an old shitty one on
Happy
PC
Wheels.
that
Happy Wheels. Happy Wheels, that one. Yeah, but that was enjoyable. But after a while, I reckon that game could get a bit boring because it's just the same
and
thing.
yet they keep churning out. This will
Yeah.
be about the 4th or 5th Trials game.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Didn't know there was 4 of them before.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them, and they're really popular. With their community, I guess.
Yeah. I think that's all the AAA games I could think of. There was Assassin's Creed, which I didn't play because I got it at home.
Because it's out now.
It's out now. I've got it.
That was some of the weird stuff. You had Spider-Man playable there, and I thought for a while it might be the DLC, but it wasn't. It was the actual
Spider-Man's
game.
been out for
It
a
was
good
basically
2 months.
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed was...
Assassin's Creed was there in that sort of capacity. There was a few Fortnite was obviously playable at a few different spots.
Yeah, but that's Fortnite.
Well, yeah, that's the biggest game in the world at the moment. But
What do you expect?
Like there was a lot of, and then Xbox had a whole ton of them. They were trying to promote Game Pass, I think.
I think Forza was there. Oh, no, there was a car for Forza.
Yeah,
But-
Forza probably was playable.
And there was a whole heap of other Xbox games next door that no one even realised that were there. They were just lining
Tunic
up.
and a few
Tunic,
others.
yeah.
Did you get to play Tunic?
No, because I didn't know about it,
Ah,
which I'm disappointed about. But...
awesome little Zelda game.
Oh, Zelda.
But not like you're. Wait, do you know anything about it at all?
No.
Like 2D kind of, well, like the old Link to the Past sort of top-down perspective. And awesome art style. Looks like Zelda. Looks like, I mean, I played it for a little while. Kind of brutal. Like when I died, it was just, you're dead. Back to the beginning. I'm like, oh.
That's harsh.
Like,
It's the old days. Going back to the start.
So-
no checkpoints.
no, there were checkpoints,
Oh, there were
but
checkpoints.
it was just, death was quick. It wasn't like you didn't get time to fumble your way through and start to learn the ropes in combat. Like, I'm dead. I'm like, oh, I'm going back to the beginning.
Damn.
Or back to the last checkpoint. It's fine. Yeah, the game looks real good. It was one of my bigger takeaways from E3 last year. This year, and then I got to play it. So I'm pretty happy with that. It's been on my radar for a long time. I interviewed the developer, I don't know, 18 months ago maybe, when I first saw the game, and I was really impressed by it. And slimy prick didn't tell me that the game was coming to console, but
Sneaky man. Sneaky
but I'm
man.
stoked that it is. What about some of the indies? What'd you play?
Played Storm Boy by Blowfish Studios. I think it was just
That's a book adaptation or something, I believe.
an adaptation, but it's also in with I think it's a remake of a movie series or something. So they
Oh
did
yeah, okay,
that.
so they're really diving
But,
into it.
yeah, it wasn't the most exciting game. It looked nice, but it wouldn't be anything I wanted to buy if it
Yeah,
came
okay,
out.
fair enough.
Another one was Collateral Damage, which was a 4-player sort of beat 'em up, collect all the gems type of game. So sort of like that old school sort of,
I saw the game there, but I didn't actually pay close attention. Sorry, guys, didn't get a chance.
yeah.
Feel free to reach out to me if you want me to go.
I'm not entirely
I'll happily
sure.
play it.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure if it would be an online game eventually. You would think.
Well, if you got 4-player competitive, you probably want to get people,
Yeah.
not just couch co-op, but actual online stuff as well to get it going.
Yeah, so I signed up for the beta for that. So when it comes out later, I don't know, next year sometime. So yeah, that was enjoyable. You probably lose a couple of friends over it, but hey,
Good.
can't be as any worse as Overcooked.
Or party golf or anything
Party
else.
Golf or Mario Party. You lose friends over that. Sneaker, which is a sort of a stealth type game.
I've heard there was a lot of stealth games at PAX.
Yeah, this
Between
is
that and Hitman, and there was a few other indies that were all stealth games
yeah,
too.
it's a stealth game where you eventually just pick up a shoe and start hitting people with it. It's great.
A shoe.
A shoe, just one
Yeah.
shoe. Just throw.
Oh, a sneaker. Right.
Yeah, a sneaker. Yeah, where the sneaker, so you throw it at walls and stuff to distract guards and all that, so you can sneak past. So that was an enjoyable game. That one that was out next year. What's that? That's hot. Oh, no, that's just a store I went to get a Spider-Man bobblehead. Don't worry about that. Fireborn.
All right, this is a game. Oh, I've got the same card. Did you actually get to play it?
I did.
What do you think? Because I told them, I saw them on Saturday, kind of between interviews and appointments and bits and pieces. I said, I'll be back and I'll see you Sunday. And I didn't get back to him. And Matt played it and really liked it, and I'm gathering you did too.
I did. It was for a very, very buggy game just for the moment. It's really good. The animation's good, the fighting's good. The only problem I had, I couldn't get past it. There was these two vines swinging back and forth. I've tried about 10 times, couldn't get to the vine. And I asked the guys, like, oh, it's really buggy here. You got to get down and swing like this and that.
Yeah.
There's something wrong here. No.
Well, the weird thing about it, they've been working on the game for 2 years, but literally 1 day per week. So they've been working on it essentially for about 3 to 4 months.
It's a good effort there.
So I was actually stoked with how far that game was along, given that they've only been able to put 4 months into it.
1 day a week. No, that's pretty impressive.
It had kind of... I don't want to throw too much hype on it. I was about to say like Witcher sort of qualities, but like you can kind of see those systems there. Will it be as fleshed out as The Witcher? Probably not, because it's the best game in this generation. But that's my call anyway. But it showed those qualities, so I'm pretty keen to see more.
Yeah, no, so am I. I can't wait for it to get on a little bit further. And what's that one? Little Reaper, and that's a game where Little Reaper sort of knocks all the souls out and they all disappear, and you have to grab them all before the Grim Reaper comes out before you get fired.
Oh yeah, fair.
Yeah, that's an interesting game. Sort of a little platformer. I don't know if there's a boss or anything in it, but yeah, it was a good game. I don't mind it. It was entertaining with a little few things there. And what's that one? Paper Value Panic. I actually didn't play that one, but
people just trying to flog.
Oh no, it was actually a friend I used to go to uni with who worked on the 3D. It was a 3D artist on the game, so
and he was there.
She was there.
Sorry, I must have missed that.
Yeah, no. And then we were just chatting about it and how long she'd been working on it and all that. And they actually went to PAX East to promote it as well. And they said that it was 4 times bigger than what our PAX is. So it's massive.
And yet there was a lot of us sort of complaining like, it's so big this year. EB Expo's brought so many people in. But yeah, it's not PAX East.
That was just Saturday. Saturday was ridiculously busy, but the other 2 days were fine. It's not... I wouldn't say it's a big area. It's big, but at the same time, it's sort of getting to that point where it's getting bigger.
It's almost too big for the expo hall.
Yeah, but where else are you going to put it? That's the other question. For something.
Yeah, we don't have anywhere bigger in Victoria. Let's just
not big.
Plan
so
it
somewhere
on the MCG.
Or you can
just do it on the grass.
There's not many areas where they can have an expo and panels in the same spot. There's not many in Melbourne.
Because they did it at the Melbourne Showgrounds early days, and they outgrew that. And now they're starting to push the limits, I guess, of what they can do at the convention centre. Though it was still a little bit weird because they had, like, Bethesda had done their stuff out the back of the queue room, which took away a lot of space for people to queue up. So you had people like sprawling down the street, like just the queue was stemming out onto the road up towards the train station, which thankfully I didn't have to deal with. But I heard that was pretty bad for those who got stuck in it.
That's me done.
Oh, that's you done. Right, Triple A's. We've already spoken about Ori, which I guess is coming to Xbox. It's an indie game, but anyway.
It's a good one.
And it's an amazing one. Days Gone I played. We spoke about that. I waited in the queue for 2 hours. I got to the queue and they go, it's about an hour from here. I'm like, great, no worries. I was on the phone for a good 10-15 minutes of that at the beginning anyway, and then I grabbed Kieran from the Explosion Network, go and check out their stuff, to jump in with me, and before you knew it, we were at the front of the line, but it had been 2 hours instead. But it was well worth it. They had 2 demos there. One was like a horde mode-y sort of thing, not in terms of like your Gears of War style horde mode. Like there was a horde of these freakers zombie things. Essentially, as soon as you trigger one, that's it. It just becomes like this survival thing.
Oh wow!
And according to the PlayStation rep, when we went to play it, only 2 people had actually survived the 10-minute session for the entirety of the PAX to that point, which admittedly was the Friday afternoon. So not that many people had been through, but they would have had a good 40, 50, I'd imagine, at least. Kieran played that. I played and I saw the end of his because I finished the little single player slice that they put in there, like a little campaign slice, which I essentially played like an Assassin's Creed game, which was kind of cool. It's got these like simple sort of stealth mechanics, like in Assassin's Creed. You can hide in the bushes and all those sorts of things, sneak out, knife people, whatever, and it works exactly the same here. It's not meant to be an Assassin's Creed game. You can go around and just shoot the place up, but there's a lot of freakers there, so it kind of gets kind of crazy if you rile them up. So I was just kind of creeping from point to point to point, and if there was a little freaker that broke off the pack, I'd knife it so I didn't have to deal with it.
Shank it.
And in the end, I actually completed the entire demo without triggering a single enemy. Managed to kind of creep around, climb up on the roof. I got into the building. I got what I needed from there. As I'm escaping, a little cutscene was triggered where my mate, and I can't remember his name, is being attacked. George. There's always a George.
Oh, George.
Like the lighthouses in Bioshock, there's always a George.
Damn George.
And he was kind of getting attacked by... The weird thing about these freakers, they say they're not zombies because there's still a bit of human or something in them.
So it's sort of like the Last of Us
type of thing. They can still walk and talk. Well, no, like they can even still verbalise what they're doing, whereas, Last of Us, you got
clickers.
Yeah. These guys still kind of walk and talk, but they're kind of gone in other ways as well.
Oh.
And they were kind of torturing him, and I just... that was the one point where I had to whip out the gun and I felt the only way I could actually deal with the situation was to whip out the gun, shotgun out, bang, 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 took them all down before they even turned around and looked at me. So I managed to kind of essentially stealth the entire demo, which I don't know if that's the intent, but it was kind of cool to see that I already know you can go all guns blazing and you have to run and dodge your way through if that's what you need. But there's also that stealth component as well if you really want to. So that was cool. Darksiders we already spoke about, really cool. It's out in a few weeks, go and check it out.
Didn't even promote it.
What else?
But the funny thing about the Darksiders 3 thing, it does. If you look above where
the game
located,
was,
there's this big banner with the Darksiders 3.
Oh yeah.
And no one picked it up. I just looked at it and went, oh.
Well, I saw it early on, and I saw someone playing with a keyboard and mouse, and like, nope. Me being the non, and then I wanted to buy again the next day, and there was someone there with a controller. So I'm like, all right, we're in. Let's go. So done. So Days Gone, Ori and the Will of the Wisps, Rage 2 I got to play, and thank you to our friends at Bethesda who, after I finished my interview with Tim Willits and I said, hey Tim, I know you're here to talk about Rage, but I haven't actually had a chance to play it yet. They tapped me on the shoulder afterwards and said, hey, we're calling ahead, we'll get you to the front of the line and you can go play Rage.
Oh, so
wow. Thank you for that. But that is really cool. Like, you enjoyed Doom, didn't you?
I did.
It's Doom.
Oh,
like, it feels
Doom
like
and Rage.
Same team working with Avalanche, who are the guys who do Just Cause and all that sort of stuff. But it feels like Doom, just in a different setting.
So it's sort of like the Fallout and Elder Scrolls
the post-apocalyptic thing. But they
sort of like the gameplay. I don't know that far. Where you see, if you play Fallout, then you just go play Elder Scrolls. You just look and go, "Hang on, am I playing Fallout?" Or
I guess kind of. It's got that same. It's like they've looked and gone, all these mechanics worked in Doom, like that fast movement and the kind of really intense speed and action about it, and they've brought that across and then Rage'ified it afterwards. So Rage 2 is looking really, really good. I really enjoyed that session. It was a game that I was kind of, okay, it's trying to be Borderlands. And
Borderlands?
It's got that sort of style about it.
It's got the cell shading, does it? Or that Wasteland?
But that Wasteland sort of look and the humour and like lots of kind of exaggerated colour and hairstyles and all like that punky sort of feel about it.
Was the first one like that?
Not so much. I played about 20 minutes for a player 2 plays, and I actually kind of enjoyed what I played, but it didn't know it was more the thing that was big at the time. Your dark colours, browns and greys and stuff like Gears of War and Resistance and all that, and Call of Duty all doing the same sort of thing at the time. So it kind of fit in line with that. But this is kind of going the opposite way. It's Borderlands with the Doom mechanics and open world aspects from Just Cause. So that's really high on my to-do list now. I've already spoken about Tunic. It's awesome. Go play it. I've got Darksiders. I played Smash. I used the 1 hour early access for the media thing, and I basically walked in there at the very end because I could hear like Nintendo fans salivating in the queue room. So I thought I better beat you guys to it. I drew the short straw I got lumped with a Nintendo rep who had clearly never played a Smash Brothers game before, and I'm not even sure if she actually knew how to use the
Do they know what Nintendo is?
I just don't even know if she picked up the controller before.
Wow.
That was that sort of thing. Like, one PR rep kind of left her to it with me, and I picked up Ridley because Ridley's one of the new characters, so I want to try it out and see what Ridley's like. And I beat her 8-0, despite the fact that I'd not played the new game at all.
Bully.
But no, like, there were simple things. Like, I'd use my side B, which he kind of like skewers the character and then flings them off the edge. But
That one.
she didn't like know how to double jump properly and all that sort of stuff to get back on.
That's
So it was those sort of basics. She just didn't have a clue. So I'm like, okay, like, my kill count was just going through the roof, because as soon as she went off the edge, if she couldn't get there with one jump, it was over.
What character were they?
No, I don't remember.
I was going to say, if it was Kirby,
Yeah, I was
you should
gonna say,
have no problems whatsoever.
Kirby should be
jumping.
fine, but yeah, so that went a little bit pear-shaped, but it was good to get to experience, try out Ridley and the Inkling, who were the two characters that they had available. That was the E3 demo, so it didn't have some of the new stuff that they've revealed, like Dead Luigi and all that sort of stuff. But still, one of the best things on the internet is that video. So Smash, I'm going blank again. The Division 2 I messed around with. Did you play the original Division?
No.
On your Xbox? Ubisoft's kind of
Wasn't it more of a multiplayer?
Destiny style thing in terms of
So it wasn't
shared
sort of
world.
more. So it was a multiplayer more.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, don't do that.
That shared world kind of thing. And I enjoyed what I played in the first one. It had some rough edges. It was a little bit too repetitive in some ways. I couldn't tell whether that was going to be an issue in the sequel, because they just dropped us in this mission and we went off and did, and I had fun. It was good fun to play, just like the first one. Just hope there's a little bit more to it this time. And then we're starting to get towards the indies. So the last game that's a non-indie here is Spyro, the Reignited trilogy, which is out in a few days from when you see this.
I was going to play that. I got distracted.
The queue for that was ridiculous.
Yeah, that would be why. For a remake.
For a remake. All right, cool. I'm stoked that lots of people. The Spyro love is real.
Have you ever played Spyro before?
Oh, well, the person that was in front of me, I don't think had.
Oh, there you go.
But then when I kind of took the control afterwards, and it felt like the Spyro I knew, like, you know, he had his little headbutt charge thing. I just instantly, I don't know, all these old memories from years ago, I knew what to press, and just pressed it, and then I'm just like, the arc felt right, everything just, I jumped straight into it and felt really familiar straight away. So that's going to be good fun. And the last, I guess, of the AAAs before I get to all the indie stuff was Dreams. You know much about Dreams?
A lot of people talking about Dreams. I don't really know much about it.
Yeah, not many people really do until they've actually played it. It's one of those weird sort of games you almost have to play to really understand it. Essentially what they've done is they've created game development tools, the game.
What?
So you remember Little Big Planet? That whole,
yeah.
You could play, create, share, so you could play levels, you could create your own, and share them with the world. They're kind of going with that same sort of thing, but essentially every game development tool is there, but with a really smartly designed user interface, so that for you, the layman who's never maybe played tried to make a game, or is just not super tech savvy, you can easily go, okay, I want to take this and I'll put it here, and then I'll move this around. It's not like Little Big Planet where it's a 2D side-scrolling sort of thing. It's a full 3D world, and you can kind of do whatever you want with it. And then, like, I'm not great with that sort of stuff. Like, that's not really a strength. I'm not even the most creative sort. But even I looked at like, I can do stuff with this. But then I went for a little interview with the developer afterwards, and he just went and showed us through the game. And like there's just layers and layers and layers of depth in terms of like how you can sync these things, and okay, so when you do this will happen, and in terms of like timing all these events so they all occur, and as you get within a certain range of this little flower bud, it pops open, and that suddenly becomes a platform you can bounce along, and all those sort of little tools. Like there's a ton of depth here, and so I'm really, really looking forward to actually playing it now. I'm not the creative one out of the two of us in the family, but I think there's something that both of us can kind of enjoy when it comes to this one. So that'll be really good. Indies. Fledgling Heroes is a little... Do you know Tiny Wings on the mobile phone? That little one with the little bird, and you press the thing and he flies, and then you release and he takes off, and then it's the most basic thing in the world. But you like little... Oh, actually no, not Tiny Wings. I'm thinking about Flappy Bird.
Flappy Bird,
that
yeah,
one where
okay,
you
now
tap
I
and you
know.
get the timing?
It was
It's
definitely-
kind of those sort of mechanics. Firstly, it's adorable. Look at those little birds and animals and things. But it's coming to iOS, and then he said the keyword, the Switch. So instantly I was...
Keyword.
But it's got... I just spoke about that play, create, share sort of thing. You can play levels, and as you complete them, you unlock tools and items and bits and pieces so you can build your own, which you can then share with the rest of the world as well. It's tricky. The levels are tricky, like to get all the collectibles you need to get or meet every single objective. Even just getting to the actual endpoint is not easy in some of those levels. So they've really smartly developed it. It's not just something they've slapped out there trying to put on the phone and trying to make a quick buck. Like, it seems to be really well thought through, and it looks gorgeous. So Fledgling Heroes was another one of those awesome games that I think people need to go and check out.
Did you play the Angry Goose?
No, I didn't get to go play Untitled Goose Game.
I didn't even realise it was there till
It was hidden at Nintendo.
Oh, come on, Nintendo.
Because apparently it's Aussie developed, which I didn't realise.
Oh.
But Nintendo reps were coming out and saying, no, this... Actually, I've already dealt with Fireborn. Apparently Nintendo's like, the only games we're going to show, indie-wise, not that are their own, are Aussie-developed titles. So,
Oh, good on you, Nintendo.
like, all right, awesome.
That's nice to see.
Lawson's Shadow I didn't actually get back to, but it's black and white stealth game there, so you can kind of really smartly mess around with the
I was
environment.
watching bits and pieces of that.
If you want to learn a little bit more, check out last week's episode of Patched, where Sean from Player 2 actually talks a little bit about his experience with that game. He said that he's not really a stealth guy, and then spoke about Lawson's Shadow, another stealth game, and the fact that Hitman 2 was his favourite game from PAX. So we think he's talking shit when he says he doesn't like
Does he know what a stealth game is?
So go and harass him on Twitter or something like that. Aura of Worlds I didn't actually get to. It looked really cool. Like, the art style looked kind of cool. It's doing some interesting things in terms of Metroidvania sort of stuff. Procedurally developed levels. But and that's just the business card for the guy.
Is that 3D?
Yeah, that's the Fledgling Heroes.
wow.
Yeah, they've kind of gone with that little 3D
They've gone
ripples.
really
I can't
over
remember
the
what you
top.
actually call it, but yeah, they were really leaning into it. They
That's
know they've
cool.
got something. Another one that, I mean, this maybe says a lot about how popular the game is. They were like just using bits of cardboard and having to put their business card
No
details
effort
on because
whatsoever.
because they'd run out. Like, people had been
Oh,
taking
wow,
all,
really?
that they were literally just having to use little pieces of card. It's called Alluri, and I think the best thing I could compare it to is Ori and the Will of the Wisps and Ori and the Blind Forest in terms of the art style. And even some of the platforming. They said it's a massive inspiration for them.
That's him. I'm impressed.
So yeah, the girl was literally standing there trying to draw up these business, like, she was doing a little design for the foxy animal thing on the front, and then scribbled details on the back while still talking to me about the game. I'm like, geez, you know this thing, and you've done clearly a lot of this already. So that's looking really good. I actually want to find a way to get my hands on that again, because I wouldn't mind messing around with it a little bit more. And the last one, and I'm maybe a little bit biased because this is actually developed by a former student of mine, the Voyager project, which was at the Swinburne University booth. It's a co-op game, asymmetric, where hypothetically our scenario, or you and me, you being the viewer, you're in space, you're kind of trapped in space. I might be the one exploring. That's fine, I kind of do that in the first person perspective, and it's all kind of what you might imagine. But on the flip side, there's you, and you're working behind a computer terminal, which doesn't sound
very exciting.
Doesn't sound, but you have to actually work together with that person in order to progress.
Oh.
So yeah, the two of us. I'm kind of on the spaceship and exploring and seeing whatever there is to see. And then there's you behind the computer terminal, and I might get to door B4, for example, and I want to get through that. And I'm not screen hacking. No one's screen hacking or anything here. So I have to, like, I'm on my mic or talking to you and going, look, I'm stuck at door B4, I need you to find the access codes for that. And you start digging around through all the servers. You've got a few different screens and panels that you're kind of sifting through. You find what you need, you unlock B4, I can get through. And kind of the puzzles, like, it's kind of a puzzle exploration game, but in the end, the puzzle comes from the fact that you need to be communicating with the other player and kind of describing what you want, what you see, and what you need. Because it's in space, things can get kind of cold, so you're monitoring my vitals and all those sorts of things. You might need to adjust temperatures for different bits and pieces as you go to keep me alive and all that sort of stuff. It's a really interesting kind of concept they're working on. It may have already been confirmed or announced or whatever by now. They did put themselves up for nomination for the best student game at the Game Awards this year, which if they, well, I think even to maybe get selected, they'll need to get played by Kojima and Todd Howard from Bethesda, as well as several others like Vince Zampella from Respawn, who did Titanfall and some of the old Call of Duties. Like, there's some big names that can get to play their game if they get nominated, and then potentially win, like Level Squared did the year before. So that's a really cool, interesting project. So I'd recommend it's worthwhile looking into that and seeing a little bit about it and seeing if it's for you. But that's all I played. The rest of PAX is about catching up with people and
panels if you go to it.
Yeah, and I got to do a few interviews, which was great. You'll start seeing some of those. I'll talk about those in my wrap up. But yeah, that's about it. Was there anything else that kind of took your fancy from PAX other than a free hat and a shirt?
Free hat. Well,
you got inspired to get some new recording gear, which you're going to use for some late game review bits and pieces.
And play 2 players down the track when I get to it.
Yep. So, was there anything else that kind of you took a liking to? I basically didn't get out to that whole back part of the convention centre this time. You know, we're like
tabletop games.
Tabletop is, and not that really interests me anyway. But I usually wander out there at some point. But I didn't actually get a chance to.
I sort of went out there. There wasn't really much. It was just tabletop stuff happening as you expect.
Doesn't interest me. But
yeah, what was down the end there? No, nothing. There wasn't anything there. Oh no, it was all VR thing.
Speed runners, but they kind of stuck that up
at the front.
Up the front this time.
There was VR down the back.
Oh really?
I think there was. Yeah, there was. There was some VR stuff going on.
Oh, sure.
I didn't really pay attention to it, but yeah, I think that was really it. Yeah.
So nothing else really outside of all the stuff you've already spoken about. Nothing else really floated your boat.
Not really. I think that's
PAX
it.
is awesome. Go and check out everything that's there. Go and check out a lot of those games we spoke about. Hopefully, I've managed to clip in a whole bunch of different little videos from all these. They'll all be right there, there. And if not, well, bad luck. Just go and check out their work. I'll try and look after you indies. I'll make sure as many of yours get some airtime as possible here, because you guys need more support than bloody
those AAA's don't need no
Spyro
support.
Does, for example,
or Assassin's Creed. They don't need no support.
Yeah, they get plenty of airtime as it is. But I guess that wraps up this episode of Patch then. So thank you very much for watching. Where can you be found on the Twitter?
At Matto_Phil.
And me, you can find. I've changed mine.
Ooh.
Paul James Games, because they
Paul
rhyme.
James Games. Oh, that's.
Which I thought was very clever of me.
That's fantastic.
I've also been told for years that I should do something like that, and I just never did it. And now I'm going to claim all the credit. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. This one, all those buttons down below. You'll get Patched, The Insider, Player 2 Plays, Late Game Review, Gamer School. I already said Late Game Review.
You did.
And a whole bunch more. So go check that out. I'm also going to tell you to go and check out some podcast feeds, because you'll get the Player 2 podcast on the Player 2 podcast feed, and also my new one, which is born of some of these interviews that I was doing, called Dev Diary, where I sit down and interview game developers about their story. Long form sort of thing. There's a few that are going live over the course of the next few weeks, so go and check those out. The website is player2.net.au. Reviews, previews, opinion pieces, blah 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 blah,
etc. etc.
Patreon.com/player2au. Kick in a few bucks, you'll help the Player 2 dream to grow, and you'll get early access to a whole bunch of videos, monthly exclusives as well. We've already done Twitter. Favourite game from PAX?
Ori. Definitely Ori.
We're unanimous then. Ori and the Will of the Wisps is the best game of PAX. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.